What is going on, everybody? Jake the Bills fan here, and as you can tell, I have broken out the starter jacket because, well, we're taking a trip through time, and we are going to be ranking in tiers the Buffalo Bills jerseys throughout the years. Now, not every single jersey is going to be in here, every single color combination, white face mask, gray face mask, blue on blue. Like, that's not all in here. There's also going all the way back to the 60s. There's just the one uniform they have. They don't really have a home and away. If they did, I could not find a single photo of it. So really, I have some big ones and a couple of ones that I think are kind of cool to just look at. And, you know, if your favorite jersey doesn't get put in where you think it is, then just know that this is my opinion. Not everybody's opinions are the same. Trust me, I know you kind of learn that as you have a sports YouTube channel. Now, as you can see, there's not an F rating on here because I don't think that any of these jerseys are bad. I don't think that they're like disgusting and deserve to be in an F because, you know, there are some teams that do have jerseys like that, but the Buffalo Bills have, you know, mostly been a team that is able to have a regular jersey, and it's red, white, and blue. How many color combinations can you do that actually look bad? So going right into this, I think it's better that we start off with the oldest one, which is just blue and silver from the 1960s, their first ever jersey, and that is going to go in the D tier. Pretty much the D tier exists just for this jersey to go in it, because you could tell that basically these Detroit Lions colors don't really go with the Buffalo Bills. And later in the 60s and going into the 70s, they rebranded to the Buffalo Bills colors that we know and love. So they didn't really keep these for a very long time. But it is still part of the history, so they do have to go somewhere. So now, I didn't include the 70s ones because basically our jerseys now and those are pretty much the same. With the white helmets and all, the only difference is the standing buffalo, but you know, that is also included here because we also have throwback jerseys. So basically just going now in a line, we're going to go with the throwback jerseys that we use now, the white on white with the white helmet and the standing buffalo. I think that these jerseys look clean as hell. I love the stripes on the shoulders. It is absolutely a beautiful jersey, white on white. Usually, and you'll hear this argument from me later, white on white kind of really tends to flush out. Like, it doesn't look amazing all the time, but these are done right from white from head to toe with the stripes. They actually look good. So I'm going to put that in the A tier. I'm not going to say that they're the best because I'm really wanting to save that for just one type of jersey, one jersey that I have in mind, which you guys will find out eventually. But yeah, the throwback jerseys, really, really awesome, the white on white. But then there's also the throwback jerseys that are more in line with what the Buffalo Bills wore back in the day as well, and that is the blue on white with the standing buffalo. Now, I really, really think this is a great jersey as well. Going into history, you have to respect the history. I don't think that this jersey is like top of the line. Maybe if this was the jersey that when you got into the Buffalo Bills, you think it is the best. But in my opinion, I think that this jersey is still A tier. I think that it's really, really good and it has a good history behind it. But you know, it not being used as much as the white on white, at least recently, and, you know, it being so similar to other ones, it is the grandfather of them all, so it has to stay in the A tier. So now we're getting into the 2000s, and the 2000s are when we had the dark blue jerseys. Everybody at least should know these jerseys in some form of capacity. My first ever Buffalo Bills jersey as a kid was a Drew Bledsoe dark navy blue Bills jersey. My dad had no idea when we discovered it later. He thought for some reason someone had given me a Patriots jersey, but I was like, no, Dad, you know, I know you like to forget those years, but the Buffalo Bills did wear these jerseys. Now, the away jerseys, I don't like them that much. I kind of like the design they did with the top of the chest piece being blue and the white. But these jerseys all around, even the red helmets can't save them. I think these are a C tier jersey. I don't really ever see the Buffalo Bills doing a throwback to these jerseys. I think they kind of like to forget these jerseys, and they're not really that good at all. So now we're going to go and just stay in the 2000s here, and we're going to do the dark blue on blue Buffalo Bills Navy jerseys. Now these, I actually think these look good. A lot of people don't like these because they're so different from, they were trying to be different from the 90s, but they kept the red helmets, but they were trying to be something different going into the 2000s. And I really think that while they are able to master being different and pulling it off in a good way, I do think that these are a B tier jersey. They're not as good as the like old retros, and they really were just kind of a stopgap for them eventually going back. I think it was like '07, mid 2000s, they decided to go back to the old originals. So now I want to stay in this time period of weird jerseys. And, you know, we did throwbacks, we did the 2000s. Well, if you guys know, the Buffalo Bills tried to do throwbacks in 1994. They tried to do a standing Buffalo throwback jersey with the 90s Bills. And, well, it didn't really turn out that well. If I can find a picture of one, I can. They basically just used their same uniforms, and instead of, you know, changing the helmet, because I don't know how the rules were back then of having a different color helmet, but instead of, you know, bringing back the white helmet with the red buffalo on it, they just decided to slap a white buffalo on a red helmet and just keep their same uniforms. They didn't really change them up that much, and as far as I could find, they used them in one game. It was a Monday Night Football game against the Broncos in 1994. These jerseys are awful. I think that they don't really hold any kind of value or anything. They almost seem like they were sloppily put together, and they were just there to kind of, other teams are doing retros, why don't we do retros? I don't think that there was really any thought of wanting to actually keep going with this. And if they did, the fans shut that down real quick. So definitely D tier. Out of the retros, the worst. And, you know, it sucks because it was the first time they tried to do it, and it took them a while to eventually go back to the old retros. But definitely not that good of a jersey. So now we're going to get into one that a lot of people have controversy with, and that is the red color rush. Now, I am in the camp that I think the color rush jerseys are okay. I don't think the color rush jerseys are amazing. Some people love the way that the red pops. I think it's too hard on the eyes. Literally, when you're looking at the field, it's just awful. Just go back to the colorblind game against the Jets. You know, that was just an awful game to look at, and some people like that, some people don't. I'm in the camp to where I think it's about on par with the 2000s not royal blue, but navy blue jerseys. So now we're getting into the big boys. So when we're getting into this, I want us to start with the new Buffalo Bills first, and then we'll just alternate between. So let's go new Buffalo Bills. We have the blue on white, and we have the white on blue. Yes, I know there's white on white. There's also blue on blue, but like I said at the beginning of the video, there's, you know, a lot of variations that you could throw in here. I'm just putting out the main ones. I really like both these jerseys. I think that the blue on white, again, it just harks back to the beginnings of the Buffalo Bills, not the very beginnings, but still the beginnings of making them who they were. And I love our jerseys. I think our jerseys are one of the best in the NFL. So I got to put it in A tier. I think blue on white, that's just the classic look for the Buffalo Bills, and it looks beautiful. So now we'll also go in, and now let's do the away jerseys for the 90s Bills. Look, people love the 90s Bills. uniforms. They're very simplistic, and I like that as well. But I also think that the white on white that the Buffalo Bills wore, really, they looked like matchsticks out there with just white and then a red helmet. It wasn't really a great look. I think that it is going to be a B tier with these other jerseys where they were just okay. But when you think of the Buffalo Bills, you don't think of those teams in the white jerseys unless you're a Bills fan. The only thing that you're remembering those white on white jerseys for is losing in the Super Bowl, and we don't like to remember that. So definitely B tier when it comes to that. So now we have the white on blue of the 2020 and present Bills, and I truly think that this is an A tier. So you can see where I'm going with this. My big thing is when you're looking at the team, really both of theirs are really, really good, but it doesn't scream, hey, this is a mean team. Like, yeah, these are great jerseys, and they're right, they're one of the best in the league, but I only wanted to put one jersey in the S tier, and that is the classic blue on white of the 90s Bills with the red helmet. I am a red helmet supporter. A lot of people don't like the red helmets. They like the classics. They like to go back to what the roots were. I think the red helmets were mean looking. When you looked at the Buffalo Bills and watched all of the tape that I have on the Buffalo Bills, the red helmets standing out and popping from like just the jersey combination of red, white, and blue, it looks amazing. It is an S tier jersey, no matter what you say. In my opinion, I think it's an S tier jersey. But again, I'm going to have this tier list linked in the description below to where you can make your own tier list if you want to. And if you do like it enough, then share it out. Let anybody do it. I think it would be fun for the community, for everybody to share their opinions on what they think the Buffalo Bills tier list of jerseys is. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe down below. There will be a JJ Watt video coming out later in the week where I break down all the news of what's going on with him, since there's not a lot of stuff going on in the off season. If you haven't already, join the Football Mafia. Mafia means family, and I would love for you to join mine. My name has been Jake, aka Jake the Bills fan. Same Bills content, same Bills channel. I will see you guys in the next video.